So 8 question is in front of you. Just can you try to answer? Which one of the following statements concerning cash flows determination for capital budgeting process is not correct?
Your screen is not visible, sir.
Once again, I'm sharing. Just confirm.
Okay. Yeah, now it's visible.
Yeah. So can you just try to answer this question?
Yes. Option D.
Yeah. So which one of the following statements concerning cash flow determination for capital budgeting purpose is not correct? Is tax depreciation must be considered because it affects cash payments for taxes. They're asking which is not correct.
Yes.
So in capital budgeting process, of course, tax depreciation we consider. Why? Because it affects cash payments for taxes, right?
Right.
Why it affects the cash payments for taxes? See, tax depreciation can reduce your taxes, right? You pay less cash, right? For pay
Yes.
for taxes, and that is a important factor to be considered for capital budgeting process.
Yes.
This is a correct statement. Of course, this reduces taxes. Net working capital changes should be including cash flow forecasts. It's a true statement. Yes. Working capital changes also we take. Sunk costs are incremental flows and should be included. Sorry, not incremental flows. Should not be included. Absolutely sorry. It's a true statement, right? Will you take sunk
Yes.
cost in capital budgeting process? No. Book depreciation is relevant. Do you think book depreciation is relevant?
No.
Tax depreciation is relevant, right?
Yes.
So tax depreciation is relevant to cash flow analysis because it affects the amount of income taxes that must be paid. Book depreciation is not relevant because it does not affect the amount of cash generated by an investment because it's not a cash outflow as well. Okay, it's a wrong statement. It's not a cash outflow as well. Next question. In the capital budgeting process, the routine use of post audits after implementation tends to discourage which one of the following? That means routine use of post audits afterwards you conduct audit, right? After implementation tends to discourage which one of the following? So a long-term outlook when making investment decisions. See, capital budgeting projects are long-term by definition. Just a second. So in the capital budgeting process, the routine use of post audits after implementation. After you have taken some project and when you conduct post audit, it will discourage which one of the following? A long-term outlook when making investment decisions. Actually, capital budgeting process are long-term only, right?
Yes.
So implementation of project post audit is designed to stop unrealistic estimates, not to stop the implementation of profitable projects. So it is just to there may be some estimates made, right? So unrealistic estimates will be checked after audit, right? See, why you do audits? All the capital budgeting process, capital budgeting, what you're doing is a budget, right? It is budgeting, right? So budgeting is all about
Yes.
what? Estimates. So with
Estimate.
audit, they can check where unrealistic estimates are made or unnecessarily overestimation is done or underestimation is done. Correct? So audit
Yeah.
can stop that.
Anyway.
So in capital budgeting process, the routine use of, that means when you do a process, when you are into capital budgeting process and when you get the the process whatever you have planned and all, you implement that and then you conduct audits, let's say, okay, that will discourage
Okay.
what? See, this is a project. This project you have like done the budgeting for this. Okay, that's called capital budgeting. That means you have just seen what in how much investment you have to do, initial cost, and then what are the revenue cash flows it's going to generate. All those things you have done estimations,
Okay.
and you have done the implementation also, what you have planned. Okay, and then you are conducting audits. It will discourage what? It will discourage a long-term outlook when making investment decisions. How come it can discourage a long-term outlook when the capital budgeting process itself is for long-term, right? The
Yeah,
basic
right.
nature of capital budgeting is for long-term, so it can't discourage.
Okay.
Implementation, it will not discourage the implementation. Audits are done after the implementation. It will just check
Hmm.
the unrealistic estimates and cannot be a hurdle or cause for selecting profitable projects, right?
Yeah.
Just a second. Just a second. Hello. 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 Samlin, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So unrealistic estimates will be checked and cannot stop profitable projects, because post audit is done after the project is taken. They can only rectify the mistakes, but the audits are done after things are like, metallized, right?
Yeah.
So they cannot stop the profitable projects. Optimistic
Okay.
estimates of cash flow during project selection. See, post audit should be conducted to serve as control mechanism and and deter managers from proposing unprofitable investments, right? And
Hmm.
being overly optimistic with respect to estimates of cash flows. See, what is realistic you keep. It's not really related to your optimism that you're very optimistic about something. It is not like you are overestimating, you're over optimistic about something. Or see, post audit should be conducted really. No, just a second, just a second, just a second.